Well,
Okay, let's go.
I need to say something.
Oh, you need to
So
say
can you
something?
stop, please? Let me pull off slowly. And I'm trying to stay back so my big head isn't in the way.
Come on, drive and you do that, John.
Okay, here we go.
There's a red truck over there at that barn. Go get it.
Okay, bye-bye.
Love you guys. Bye.
John, let her drive.
Leaving here on Sugar Creek Road, headed back home to McCollum Pike in Independence, Kentucky. A little look at Uncle Don's farm here and Aunt Fredericka's. Cows are gone. Into the barn, probably. A little tight here on the country road. Headed back home.
It's cold in here. She goes, I'm dying.
Wait a second now. This is, what's the name of this road? Did we get the number? Okay, see if there's a number on it here when you pull up. I was going to drive over there and see if that place was over there. Okay, well, we'll get the next time maybe.
Are you on?
Yeah. Frank's store. And right here is the little cottage, what's left of it, that Grandpa Bingham and Grace Bingham lived in. And here's the cemetery here in the Mount Zion Baptist Church, and of course the Mount Zion Baptist Church. This is probably where we'll have the Bingham reunion, but either here or at Garlene's house. Mount Zion Baptist Church here, where Aunt Fredericka and Darlene and folks still go. Here's the cemetery here, where a lot of the Binghams are buried. Here in Mount Zion. Now hang on a second, Jen. Let me take a little picture here. Okay. Now stop just a second down here. We'll go a little further. Yeah. Okay, let me get a picture out the window there of the cemetery. Okay. Bullock Pen, Mount Zion. Run up and down these streets here as a little kid when Grandma and Grandpa lived here. Okay, hang on a second. Okay. across the street right over there, there's the Clyde Frank's General Store. And across the street over there, the house is gone, but that's where Uncle Tom lived. And head down this way now, where we'll go by Uncle Hugh and Aunt Betty's house, and the barn that we used to shear sheep in, where I got my first lessons in shearing sheep.
I've got a car behind me, so I can't stop.
There's the barn right there. And you got to watch what you're doing on this road. I come up it on a bicycle many a time, and went down it on a bicycle many a time. And of course, Mom jumped out of a school bus one time coming down the hill the other way when the brakes failed on a bus. Steep and crooked. This used to be a creek you had to go over. There was no bridge here. You just drove across the creek. And about right in here, somewhere where the hilly part is where the brakes went out on the bus and they had to jump off. And right over there is Garlene's house, and that might be where we have the reunion. There's a country club there, golf course. Some golfers out there playing golf. Used to do a little playing myself. Guy out riding his motorcycle. And here we're going to come to the new Mount Zion Crittenden School. Shortly here. Talk about building up. It's really built up out here. Eagle Creek Drive. Travels with John Stephenson and June Gaiman Stephenson on a trip to Mount Zion to see Aunt Fredericka and Garlene Bingham. And here's the Crittenden School, Mount Zion Crittenden School, Grant County School System, which Garlene retired from, and which our niece Stacy Bradhold teaches in the middle school, I believe it is. Man, great teacher. Crossing over I-75 here. Coming back out to the main highway here. Crittenden Zion Road. Crittenden Mount Zion Road we've been on. And we're now headed on to, I believe, what would be called Highway 25. Am I right there, Miss June? Next to the railroad tracks. City of Crittenden. And right here on the right up here is where Uncle Wilbur and Aunt Pauline lived. Where the park is. Cross over the tracks right here. Where the Joe Leary Lake is. Joe Leary, who was good friends with my dad. And Alton Stephenson, who grew up down there in Flat Creek, Mount Zion area. Of course, the park here in Grant County Park. And Joe Leary, who was my attorney. Grant County Park there, and who was my attorney when I was elected superintendent of education for the Commonwealth of Kentucky, and who represented me in the constitutional office, which was taken away by the Education Reform Act, which I supported. But I didn't support taking away the position of elected superintendent of education, and it should not have been replaced by an appointed one, because as we've seen with this last appointment, they stripped out the commissioner of education, fired him when the new political scene came in with Andy Brashear and his powers that he has used to strip education of the commissioner and make politics totally politics in education. Unfortunately, as I said back in 1992, that's what will happen if you go to an appointed position. It'll be all political. And the citizens won't have the control over the office. And it turned out to be exactly true. Now, one of these houses along here on the right is my high school graduate, Ed Whaley. But I'm not sure exactly which one it is. It might be this one right here, or it might be the next one right here. I think maybe this one's it. But I could be wrong. But anyway, hello Ed. A great student and a great friend. We get together and have supper or lunch quite often. Him and his wonderful wife. Wonderful people. Now we're going to head across Brotpiner Road, as it's called, or off of 25 here, Highway 14. And right here in this territory is where Whitty and Oatney grew up, had their farm back through there. Oatney lived there where I just passed, and Woodrow lived back off the other road up here, but their farms connected in the back. Stephenson Road is up here somewhere too, off to the left. We might have already passed it. The road that goes over to Gill's house on Green Road. And it used to have the mill down at the bottom. Of course, there's your Piner-Fitchburg Fire District right there. Yeah, we'd already passed that Stephenson Road. Here we are, folks, Pioneer, Kentucky. And there's the corner market. It's been there for ever since I can remember. Pioneer Baptist Church right out there on the right. Pioneer Elementary School over there. I think it is an elementary school. North on 17. Up and down the hills of Pioneer. Come on. Grassy Creek, I think, is what runs under this bridge. Of course, these are all new fangled bridges we're going across here. What it used to be when I was a kid. Riding bikes out through here was an adventure. Almost like exploring. Of course, eventually up here we'll be going by Moffett Road. Okay, now. And here we come to Moffett Road, where we spent our early years, down at the corner of Martin and Moffett Roads, where we built our last home, 2994, I believe it was, Moffett Road, Independence, Kentucky. Sits right between the two roads there. Beautiful home. Well, we're back in Independence now. Little racehorses, Pioneer Corner. Harris Pike and Highway 17 North. Now coming up to McCullum Pike here. And we get to see the Jesus sign over here on the right. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Heading home. They're building a big senior place here. That's a lot of seniors in there. Back home. 1238 McCullum Pike. Right behind the courthouse.